I would like to introduce David Masson. David Masson is the Director of Enterprise Security at DarkTrace, a global leader in autonomous cyber defense. He has over 20 years of experience in cyber intelligence and security operations for government and private sectors. Next is Robert. Robert Beggs and I have been working together for over the last 5-6 years. And he's the founder and CEO of Digital Defense. Our moderator, Alex Gulitsis.
Who's attacking us these days?
There is a large number of what we call state players. The bad news is we don't know what really a state player is. From your point of view, it's someone coming onto the network that is unauthorized. And sometimes that can literally be anyone. It's very hard to differentiate.
From my point of view, I often say, why do you need to bother about who it is? Because it doesn't matter who it is, because you're in trouble, and let's get it fixed and worry about that later on. No, really, most of the time it's actually going to be criminals.
What are the top cybersecurity risks today?
From an external perspective, the thing that we're seeing as much as ransomware is business email compromise. The other thing that we're seeing is saying, look, you have 3 employees that are using Spring 2022. It's now summer. Guess what the password is?
Yeah. Seems like moving to the cloud is a good idea security-wise, but...
The cloud is moving your data to somebody else's computer.
Exactly. So the cloud service provider, whoever that might be, are responsible for the security of the thing you're in, okay? The thing you're in, the walls and all the rest of it. But you are responsible for what you do in it, okay? That ease and efficiency of use can cause problems. The ability to do things very, very quickly and not necessarily go through the whole processes that you need to do to guess what to make sure that it's absolutely secure.
How can organizations like our clients best leverage both their internal as well as their external resources?
I don't consider the cloud security or remote access or home configurations to be different. I call it security of the network. And when I say security of the network, I'm concerned about security of data. Most organizations don't have a good handle on their data. They don't know what's important to them. They don't know where it is. And I usually can figure this out. I'll walk in and I'll say, that server, what's on it? And who owns that data? If you can't tell me, and if you don't have a system for that type of data inventory, you're at risk. And that's where I start. Because at the end of the day, this is all the data is a currency. Treat it like money. How would you treat money? Well, you create a budget. In security, you create a plan. You create a policy, guidelines, and rules. Most organizations don't have an information security policy. And by demonstration, this is such a fundamental thing. Let me do a quick check. My attendees here, how many have an information security policy? Just lie, for Pete's sake. Okay, now, in that sense, I call it a checklist item. You have a policy. But what I ask is, if I went to the receptionist at the front and asked that person to say, tell me what's 3 things on this policy and where I can find the full policy, if they can't do that, you don't have an information security policy. I'm looking for rules made real.
Rules made real. Is that a trademark, by the way? Because if it isn't, I'd like to use that one, plagiarize that one on mine. And the important thing is to do something, right? Have tools, have a policy, have training. Do something. Don't just think because we've gone there, it's all going to be okay. So do actually use something.
Is there a place for perfection in cybersecurity? That's impossible, right? It's more of a continuous improvement, isn't it?
It creates an interesting story when you mention words like liability, which is becoming an increasing concern for all businesses. I may not be able to make you secure, but I can sure as hell reduce liability to a manageable level.
And improve your resiliency to attack. Because these days it's not about business continuity, it's more about business resilience, i.e. taking the punch and rolling with it and keeping going. And that's increasingly important. The world's completely different from 5 years ago.
If you're looking for more words to copyright, we call it failing gracefully.
Failing gracefully.
You're going to fail.